Bridges are strategically important points for all armed forces involved in combat operations. Knowing whether a bridge has been damaged by enemy forces, explosions, or congestion is important in planning troop and vehicle movements. The static condition of bridges located in a contested area, however, can hardly be judged using means of aerial photography only. An investigation, conducted in a most secret way, from the bottom and close to the structure is possible only by human personnel. But how can bridges be examined after exposure to the blast of a nuclear strike? Or such structures in a front area contaminated by chemical warfare agents? Only specialized infantry forces whose remote reconnaissance soldiers can also be deployed in CBRN-contaminated areas can fill this gap. CBRN recon operators like ZodSqd regularly train for such exhaustive and dangerous missions, on foot, in complete autonomy, far from the rest of the squad, and permanently wearing their heavy protective gear. Every operator is aware he is only protected from the lethal warfare agents around by the single layer of his protective suit. He knows there would be no way to escape in case of a failure of his gas mask's filters or if the rubber seals of his protective equipment would be broken. Despite those dangers, the CBRN soldier must continue his mission even deeper into contaminated terrain, never knowing when and if he will get out of it alive. Moreover, he has to conquer the omnipresent desire to get out of the restricting encapsulation of his suit and mask. In fact, some well-trained operators might achieve a level of mental preparedness, which makes them addicted to wear their heavy protective equipment and helps them to overcome the natural human preference to breathe and respire freely. But this of course requires most intense training and expertise. There still is a lot of training and research to be done to implement such ideas like a future infantryman permanently operating in permanent CBRN protective posture into today's armed forces. Actually, this might be considered as redundant due to the availability of armored vehicles providing some CBRN protection to the personnel on board. But this is not an option for the most secret long-range reconnaissance operations. During our research on human capacity for operating in extended CBRN protective posture, operators at ZodSqd was assigned to approach and control an strategically important bridge while constantly wearing his Zodiac personal protective equipment. This meant to fight his way through to the target located at 4 kilometers from his base, to fulfill the checkup at the bridge and to retreat secretly without breaking the seals of his protective suit. In fact, the Central Service Regulation 5400 of the German Armed Forces recommends a maximum wearing time for the Zodiac of 2 hours while doing light work and of only good an hour under more intense physical stress. Will ZodSqd be able to fulfill the complete mission including 8 kilometers of forced march with some 15 kilograms of field equipment packed in his combat backpack and under the burden of wearing combat helmets, communication devices and a ballistic protection vest while being locked up inside the correctly donned and hermetically sealed protective suit? The expert and interested audience is requested to follow up this channel. Results and further reports from the so-called bridgeXplorer exercise attempted by operators at ZodSqd will be published here shortly after evaluation and release for publication by our secret service.